Hey, what's going on, my friends? Today I'm going to share with you three powerful ways to reduce stress and improve your health and well being. So, I'm going to show you the 3D method to manage your stress effectively, and this will allow you to free up more time for yourself so that you can work on your health and fitness and your well being. So, this method will also help you to boost your energy, increase your productivity and in your personal and professional life. So once again, if you are tuning in live, if you're joining me on the live, just comment live below. Or if you are here catching the replay, just comment replay. Okay, so today we are going to talk about stress. And just a couple of months ago, I've learned something that, one of the biggest predictors of mortality, basically how long we can live, cardiovascular disease, and cancer is psychological stress. Okay. And even in the weight loss space, stress can also affect your body's ability to lose weight. But but before that, let me ask you, right? Is stress really a bad thing? Okay. Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Stress by itself, is it a bad thing? Yes or no? Okay. Because the truth is, if you think about it, we all do need some kind of stress in our lives, because stress is what going to push us forward and help us to grow. And I'm sure that you would agree that going through some tough or challenging situation is where we learn the most and we grow. So the point here is too little stress keeps us from growing to our fullest potential. On the other hand, too much stress can be also harmful to us. It's bad for our mind, it's bad for our body, and for our health. And the key here is know how to manage it and find balance. Okay, so nowadays there are many people who are constantly living in high levels of stress, or constantly living in a high stress environment. So it's like, you think about it, right? It's like you wake up in the morning, maybe you wake up at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, then you got to attend to your family, your wife, your kids, then you go to work. And when you're at work, you face high workload and stress. Maybe you also have a boss that is yelling at you, and your colleagues are constantly giving you a hard time. They're not cooperative, and it just adds to your stress, right? Or if you are a business owner, basically, I'm sure that you are working the whole day, right? And without knowing is already the end of the day. Okay. And when you get back home, you got to attend to your family again. You have barely time for your own self, for your own health and well-being, and then it's time for bed, right? And then this process just repeats every single day. And basically, you have a stressful lifestyle. All right, you do not have time for your health and fitness, and it's often easy. That is the first things that that is the first things that we it's easy to let go, right? And I'm also sure that there are also other factors that contribute to your stress apart from work stress, right? And the usual suspects are always about financial stress, relationship stress, right? Or problems that you need to solve. And because of this, you don't feel right. Something is off in your body, and it affects your sleep. And because when you don't get enough sleep, it makes you feel sluggish. You have low energy throughout the day, and also which affects your ability to eat well and exercise. Because basically, if you don't get enough sleep, right, your body, your whole life just cannot function well. Okay, and over time, prolonged periods of high level of stress can also impact your health. Okay, so some examples I want to share is what stress can actually do for you. I mean, just to share with you some of the negative consequences, right? In terms of physical health, well, high stress can cause high blood pressure. It can cause digestive issues like gastric, constipation. It weakens your immune system, makes you get sick easily. And on the mental side of things, it causes anxiety, depression. It disrupt your sleep. Okay, and since we also since my channel is about, we talk a lot about weight loss, right? So how stress can affect your weight loss. Some of the things are like it increases your cravings. So if you know the stress hormone that is called cortisol, so it increase your cravings for unhealthy foods, and this can make it harder to lose weight. And it also can promote fat storage around the belly area. Okay, and then after that, when you're also stressed, it also decreases your motivation to exercise or eat right. So it's a trap that many people are stuck in. So the question is, how can we break free from this? So today we are going to learn on how to break free from this stress trap. Okay. Now, the biggest mistake that many people make when it is they're trying to do everything in their life by themselves. They take on too much things, they take on too much load, they don't ask for help, and the most important one is they don't set boundaries. And ultimately, this leads to burnout and stress. Of course, in the early days, it's okay if you were to do it for a short period of time, but in the long time, it's just not sustainable. So the key here is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most and finding balance. Like I said, trying to do everything is just not sustainable. So to do this, I'm going to teach you the 3D method, the 3Ds method, okay, which is called delete, delegate, and do less. So we'll start with the first one, okay? First one is delete. Okay, now elimination is always the best hack for stress management and productivity. Anything that contributes to your stress in life or lowers your productivity in life, the best way to go about it is to remove it. Okay, anything that is causing you stress or is making you unproductive, the best way is to rem- remove it. And when you start to remove stuff from your life or activities, now you don't have to worry on or attend to things that don't matter. So to do this, the first step is you got to get clear exactly on how you are spending your time. Like maybe you need to use a planning and time worksheet, like to list down all the tasks every day that you are doing. Like 6 o'clock you wake up, 6:30 you prepare your breakfast, and then throughout the day, I'm sure that you have other activities as well. So you want to list down all the activities that you have throughout the day, be it personal and work. Okay. Then you have to scrutinize your activities and ask yourself, do you have activities that are not necessary or habits that you are doing, you know, that doesn't serve you anymore? And the key question we need to ask ourselves is, what's going to happen if a given task doesn't get done at all? What is the worst outcome? If there is no consequences or outcome, then let it go. Okay. So I'm going to give you some examples to help you to, just to help you to give you some ideas on where you can start. So the first thing is where you can delete is excessive screen time, be it on social media or watching your television without purpose. Okay, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it at all, but I'm talking about if you're doing it mindlessly. So if you were to cut down your mindless scroll, this thing is all about distractions. Social media nowadays is just so much distractions. All right. And what they're good at is they are very good in drilling your attention. All right. To get more views, to get more likes. And because this is how the platform function. So we have to consciously remove our time that we spend on, like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or even watching endless of YouTube videos. Or maybe if some of you would have Netflix, right? So when you reduce some of this screen time, you can free up some hours of your day and focus more on other things, or bring back the focus to yourself. Okay, maybe the time that you spend on social media, you could have just go for a half an hour walk, a 30 minutes walk outside, or on the treadmill, which is good for you. And some other examples is also, for example, at work, maybe you can cut out things that we can remove or delete are like unnecessary meetings. How many of you attend meetings that are not relevant to you? Okay, if it's not relevant to you, what you need is just get down the meetings of minutes is good enough. Okay, so when you attend less meetings, it means that you have more time to, because every day we just have a limited amount of time. If you were to attend a lot of meetings, then you won't have time to work on the stuff that you need to. Okay, so when you when you attend less meetings, you actually have more time for yourself to complete your tasks. And so that, I'm sure that you have deadlines that you need to meet. So when you have more time for yourself, it reduces your stress. Right now you have more time. You have more time for yourself to complete the task, instead of always working close to a deadline. All right, and then and another one also can be, another example can be also social obligations. It's like saying yes to every social invitation or event, whether it's something that you enjoy or you have time. Because sometimes we just got to say no, or we just got to decline activities or invitation that does not align with our interests and goals. Okay, when you are already not enough time, you cannot say yes to everything. Right, the more no's you say to your the more no's that you can say is gonna translate to more yes to yourself. Okay, so yeah, something for you to think about, on social. Maybe find we need to cut out some social activities. Okay, and even friends, like, are you spending time with friends who is constantly adding negativity, or does not bring value to your life? If you are, then why are you spending your time and energy on them? So these are the things that you should cut out. Okay, and focus on positive ones. Focus on positive relationships that will actually bring value to your life. Like maybe get gym buddies. Okay, so your action for the first step is to delete at least one activity from your list. Okay, delete at least one activity. So you need to do a bit of exercise. You need a bit of homework on this, right? You need to really identify what are all your daily tasks, and yeah, delete at least one activity. Now, the second step is to delegate. Okay, so after you have delete your activities from the new list that you have now, which hopefully are the tasks that matters. Okay, consider each task and ask yourself, who else can do this? If you off if you would choose to offload something, what is the worst outcome could happen? Okay, if someone were to do this task for you, what is the worst can happen? Okay, if it's nothing that bad, then just delegate. So some examples: house chores and cleaning. You know, some of us, I know that it's important to clean your house every week or every day, okay, or a few times per week. But instead of doing it yourself, maybe you can hire cleaning service. Okay. And when you do that, you actually free up time for yourself to rest. Okay. You free up time for yourself to do things that you cannot delegate that needs your attention. Or let's say home maintenance. Let's say if you have a pipe that break, instead of trying to stress on how you can fix this, just get a handyman or a plumber that knows the job. You delegate some of these activities in your life to a professional. Okay. And when you give this task to a professional, first of all, they know to do it the right way, so it's going to save you time and effort. Something may take you 2 hours to do, may take a professional half an hour to complete. Okay. And the third example is like, I want to share is maybe in terms of your financial management, right? Delegating your financial tasks to a financial advisor, because finance is not something that we are being taught in our in school, right? We have no clue about how do we manage our finance. So get a qualified professional for your financial planning and investments. There are a lot of them out there now. Get them to review your financial portfolio. Get them to advise on what kind of investment that is good for you. Get them to monitor investments that, instead of you monitoring yourself, especially if you are in the investment game, right? You know that if you were to focus on investments, you won't have time to do other things. You won't have the focus to do your work and any other things in life. So delegate these tasks to someone who is professional. And even if you are at work, right, there are certain tasks that are administrative, they are routine, they are repetitive. So think about how you can delegate this task to somebody, all right, to somebody to help you instead of you doing it. Because the question is, if something is already so repetitive, it should be simple, right? Right. And then what's the worst could happen? You usually nothing. All right. So your action this week is delegate at least one thing. All right. Now the third one, which is the last D, is to do less. So finally challenge yourself. What is good enough for this thing? Right? If you're someone who is a perfectionist, you are always shooting for an A, then maybe ask yourself, what would a B look like? Because oftentimes we stress over things, we stress over trying to make things perfect when actually good enough is sufficient. Now, I'm not saying that you should stop striving for excellence, but you should only for strive excellence for the things that really matter. Because if you're going to strive for excellence for every single thing in your life, like how you fold your clothes, whether you make your bed, how you cook your food, then you I don't see how you have actually time you know to do the things that really matter excellently. Okay, if all your attention is all divided, all your focus is all divided, end up you will just be doing everything um at average. But if you were just to focus one or two things in your life that you do super well, and I'm sure that those are the things that you are going to excel at. Okay, so some of the things that maybe you can think of that you can do less, okay, or do just good enough. Okay, I don't want to say do less. I prefer the word good enough. Do good enough. Okay, so like let's take maybe example house cleaning as an example. All right, some people like to clean house to an excessive perfectionist standard. Okay, um, but how about just like you want to clean every single corner of your house, every single part of your house every week. But how about maybe you can just think about cleaning a section of your house once a week instead of the whole house every week. So, for example, if your house has is a double story house, of course, if you can delegate first to someone. That'll be great. But let's say if you still want to do it yourself, let's say if your house is a double story house, maybe one week you choose to clean upstairs. The second week you choose to clean downstairs. Okay. So instead of spending the whole weekend to clean your house, right now maybe you're cutting down the time by half. And with the remaining half of the time, you can use it for things that is more important. Let's say your health. Okay. The second thing I can think of is cooking fancy meals. Okay. I know some of you here are some people are of a foodie are very particular on their meals, right? But come on, let's make it simpler, quick. Health. Your health and fitness is difficult to start. So how about let's make things simple and quicker. There are many like simple meals that we can simple nutritious meals that we can make with just within a short period of time. Okay, because you don't want to spend so much time and effort on your cooking, your cleaning, your washing and stuff. Okay, and the last one I want to share is being a perfectionist at in your workplace. What is something that you're doing now, right? Is you think that good enough is sufficient instead of trying to make it perfect. Maybe a presentation, maybe a report. Okay, so accepting what is good enough can reduce your stress and helps you to move on to work on more important tasks. So many times we just try to make a some something that is you know maybe a report or presentation. You try to make it so good that it doesn't really make a difference actually. Okay, but of course, if you have a very you know if you have for example, if you have a special presentation, all right, like then it's a different case. You want to make it your best. But if everyday presentation that you present to the same people day in day out, then good enough is enough, right? So your action this week is re- review some of your activities. What activities that you can do less or just do good enough, because good enough is enough. All right, so there you have it, the 3 Ds to reduce stress in your life. You delete some tasks, you delegate, and you do less. Okay, so first of all, you got to review your everyday tasks. What are you doing? Then you find ways to delete, delegate, and do less, or just do just good enough. And the next step you need to do is this coming week, I got a homework for you. An action for you is, or maybe after, you have watched this training, what's the one activity that you will delete, delegate, or do less this week? If you have thought about it, just let me know in the comments. I love to know. Okay, what is the one activity that you will delete, delegate, or do less this week? If you already have the activities for all the three, you may list them down. Or if you just have one, I mean, we just have to start with one, right? What is it? Let me know in the comments. Okay, and keep in mind that this is a continuous process. You have to continue to audit your life and look for ways to continue to optimize, right? To remove things that are unnecessarily contributing to your overall stress. Like all this, like a lot of times, all these tasks, habits, and responsibilities might have been with you for months or years without you knowing it. And today we got to learn to let go, to ask for help, and or find a better way of doing things. Okay, when it comes to stress, what happens in your body will also affect your mind. What happens in your mind will affect your body. Your physical will affect your mental will affect your physical, and it goes same goes for the emotional side of things also. Okay, you cannot disconnect all these three. Okay, to live a healthy and a better quality of life, we got to learn to manage our stress. We got to learn how to free up time for ourselves so that we are able to work on our health and well-being. Okay, and I believe what I've shared today, this 3Ds method, will make a big difference in your life. Okay, so that's all I have for today, and I hope you find this helpful. If you found this helpful, just you found value from this, just type value below. And as always, stay healthy, happy, and have an amazing day ahead.